There's a rather large discrepancy with the Spartan-IVs, which, for reasons I will outline in this video, demonstrate that either the Spartan-IV shouldn't be able to wear Mjolnir, or Mjolnir should be able to be worn by everybody. So let's get up to speed with the specifics on the Spartans, their augmentations, and their armor in today's Lore and Theory video. Roll the intro. Hey everyone, welcome back to Installation 00, and Mjolnir Powered Assault Armor was a powered exoskeleton suit of remarkable strength and speed, made of a lightweight but very strong and durable titanium alloy that was basically impervious to all small arms fire, powered by a micronuclear fusion power plant able to support its own weight, but also able to output incredible levels of force, boosting the wearer's strength and speed seamlessly by interfacing with their bodies and their minds in a more intimate way than any other piece of human technology that had ever been devised to this point. One of the most powerful systems within Mjolnir was the polymerized lithium niobosine, which was an amorphous metal liquid crystal layer that fractically scales and amplifies the force and speed of the wearer's motions. And it was this system that was the driving force beneath Project Mjolnir that made Mjolnir what it is. The problem, however, is that Mjolnir scales that force and speed so phenomenally that a normal human being is incapable of wielding the power. In the first test, a Marine was asked to move his arm to chest level. The reaction happened so fast that it shattered the bones in his arm. Due to the pain-induced wince that the Marine then experienced, the armor interpreted this as further motion and moved again, further breaking his arm. This positive feedback loop continued over and over and over again and killed the Marine. It was then deemed entirely necessary to augment the physiology of the would-be wearers of this armor to make them strong enough, fast enough, and powerful enough to withstand the sheer amplification force that Project Mjolnir would grant them. And that is exactly what it did. The trifecta of projects, the Spartan Project, Project Asta, and Project Mjolnir, blended seamlessly together to create humanity's most deadly weapon, the Spartan-II Super Soldier, a warrior so devastatingly effective that they have yet to be matched by any subsequent Super Soldier program. And therein lies our problem. The Spartan-IVs were given similar augmentations. It bypassed the ethical and moral dilemma that the earlier projects dabbled with in regards to augmenting children, and returns to augmenting fully grown consenting adults. The problem, however, is that because they are adults, the effects of the respective augmentations aren't as pronounced, because their physiology has already fully taken form. In Dr. Halsey's own words,
"Children's minds are more easily accepting of indoctrination, their bodies more adaptable to augmentation. The result was the ultimate soldier."
Being trained and conditioned from an early age, never knowing really anything apart from military service, and then being augmented while still a child, gave them a maximum amount of time to assimilate, acclimate, and adapt to the augmentations that they were given. The Spartan-IVs were augmented as consenting adults, and the augmentations they received were put in place to bolster the same physiological parameters that were required of the Spartan-IIs and Spartan-IIIs, again with the sole intention in mind of boosting their physiological performance so that they could harness Mjolnir. But as I said, the augmentations they were given were less powerful. The fullerene lattice around their bones didn't give anywhere near the shear strength, compressive strength, and tensile strength of the carbide ceramic ossification given to the Spartan-IIs and IIIs. Their protein complex and muscle grafting didn't make their muscles anywhere near as powerful as the muscular enhancement injections of the Spartan-IIs and Spartan-IIIs. Their supermyelinated neurology didn't grant the same level of reaction time boost as the superfibrification of neural dendrites given to the Spartan-IIs and the neural colloidal crystal solution given to the Spartan-IIIs. In fact, based on the parameters of the augmentations the Spartan-IVs received and how it enhanced their physiology, or at least the physiology that was required of them for wearing Mjolnir, their bones and muscles were significantly weaker, and they had less than half the reaction time boost that the Spartan-IIIs and Spartan-IIs had. So then it begs the question, if their augmentations are that much weaker than a Spartan-IIs and Spartan-IIIs, how are they able to wear Mjolnir? Shouldn't it destroy their bodies in a similar way to the Marine's body when he tested the Mjolnir platform? And the answer is yes, it should. In fact, that is exactly the reason you never see a Spartan-IV wearing a Mark IV, 5, 6, or 7 platform, because they're all from the Gen 1 series of Mjolnir and practically scaled the user's speed and strength. This would have destroyed their bodies, so it became necessary to build the Gen 2 platform, a much more affordable and modular platform tuned to the specifics of the Spartan-IVs. This one scales the user's strength and speed linearly, not fractally, boosting the Spartan-IV's strength in a Gen 2 platform to similar levels as a Spartan-II in a Gen 1 platform. This linear scaling also explains why a Spartan-IV in a Gen 2 platform can have that much more of a scale increase in their force and speed, but a Spartan-II wearing the same platform ends up at exactly the same strength as a Spartan-IV in a Gen 2 platform. The linear scale doesn't make the best of the Spartan-II's augmentations, but squeezes every drop of juice possible out of the Spartan-IVs. Which leaves us one last problem: the Gen 3 platform. The Gen 3 platform is the most recent innovation in Mjolnir's technology, and is basically being worn by every currently field operational Spartan, be them Spartan-IVs, Spartan-IIIs, Spartan-IIs, or the Master Chief himself. And this platform absolutely makes the best use of the Spartan-II's augmentations because the Chief is so devastatingly effective while wearing it. And yet if it makes the best of the Spartan-II's augmentations, why aren't the Spartan-IVs turned to pulp when they wear these suits? And there are really only two answers to this question. One, every human, whether they are a Spartan or not, can wear a Gen 3 platform of Mjolnir powered assault armor. That would explain why the Spartan-IIs get the best possible use out of the armor, but the Spartan-IVs, who have much less powerful augmentations, still get the best use out of the armor. The armor has become so sophisticated that it's become decoupled from the requisite of being augmented. But I don't think this is particularly likely at all. It would make Spartans not special anymore. Anyone can wear their suits, anyone can be a Spartan, and once anyone can be a Spartan, no one is. Which leaves this explanation. The Gen 3 platform scales its output based on the class of Spartan that is wearing it, still fractically, but within the tolerable limits of the respective Spartan class. This is a much more likely outcome because it became abundantly clear in the Shadows of Reach that Chief could boost the assist ratio of one of his legs when his thigh was severely damaged by Banshee fire, to the point that he didn't really have to use any muscles in his leg whatsoever. The suit took over almost all executive control of his leg, and yet Spartan-IVs out there are still able to operate almost unencumbered in these same suits. This explanation seems to make a lot more sense, but there is a small problem with this answer as well. If the Mjolnir Gen 3 platform can practically scale the amount of force and assist ratio that it gives to the wearer, catering to the specific augmentation sets of the class of Spartan wearing it, why can't it scale it down small enough to mean that a normal human could wear the Gen 3 platform? And at this point, I don't have an answer. All I have for this particular problem is the realization that this is a fundamental problem with the design and the lore that surrounds the Spartan-IVs. For 343 Industries, developing their own Spartan program, the Spartan-IV program, was their opportunity to put their own take on the super soldier program, to move away from the morally and ethically debatable situations that surround child soldiers. And the decision to move away from that was a good one, as was the decision to make these particular super soldiers less powerful than the Spartan-IIs and the Spartan-IIIs. That somewhat honours the classes that came before, still makes the 2s and the 3s special. That's important for the fans. But in making that choice to make them less powerful, but still giving them suits of armour called MJOLNIR to wear, and still calling them Spartans, presents this lore inconsistency in that their physiology should not be strong enough due to the augmentations to harness the power of the GEN3 platform, and yet they do. Which means either they have to acknowledge that the Spartan-IVs are more powerful than they've made them out to be, or that MJOLNIR can scale its output force based on the physical capabilities of the person wearing it, which then leads to the ultimate conclusion that then there should be no reason that an unaugmented human shouldn't be able to wear MJOLNIR as well. Now don't get me wrong, the Spartan-IVs, particularly how they were portrayed in Halo Infinite, were fantastic. The Rubicon Protocol was fantastic. What the Spartan-IVs have ultimately become is fantastic, and still doesn't detract from the legend that is the Spartan-IIs and the Spartan-IIIs. But this lore inconsistency needs rectifying, reconciling somehow. And I'd love to hear your opinions on exactly how that could be done. You know where to put your comments, and until next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider hitting the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Be sure to like the video if you did, and pop a comment below on what you'd like me to cover next. I just want to take a moment to thank my patrons, Spartan10148, the Metarch of my facility, Falcon, Sophia, Mikhail, Ashley, Jordan and Esoteric Sight, my dutiful monitors, Darian, Legions Lost, Lab Rat, Spartan0137, Jacob Kemp, Sean, Element Zero, J3, Mr. Keys, Gunslinger, Evermore, Personal Devil, Aldeas, Toxic, Scion Esports, Gem Saber and Relentless, my diligent sub-monitors, my fleet of Strato Sentinels, my loyal enforcers, and all other patrons who continue to support the channel. If you want your name on the end of the video and some perks earned along the way, head over to Patreon and consider supporting the channel yourself. Big shout out to my Tier 0 Transcendent YouTube members, Spartan137, Jacob Kemp, Talia, Fenrir, Bornstella, Jimbo and Balaz, and all the other YouTube members keeping my installation running on that glorious vacuum energy, with a special mention to the Accursed Hunter. Shout out to John due to the mathematical formula used to determine the area within a pentadodecahedron. Oh, and Lena because that sandwich. And remember, there are tons of ways to support the channel and keep my installation pumping out content at a breakneck speed. Much love to you all, take it easy everyone, and find peace in the domain.